Please rewind this cassette.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I've been watching the Oscars for, I don't know, 20 years now at this point, 20 plus years, since the 90s. I think the first Oscars I watched was sometime in the mid 90s. I remember Titanic winning Best Picture and all that. And I remember the terrible Billy Crystal years as a kid. In my lifetime, at least, in 30 years, I have never seen or experienced, witnessed anything comparable to what happened last Sunday with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. First, I hate seeing black on black crime in any setting, so that part was very devastating. Um, Shout out to all the victims of alopecia uh, that was causing Jada to go bald, which led to all this and the G.I. Jane joke that got Chris slapped by Will Smith. I mean, what the fuck? How did this happen? There's all sorts of theories about this, right? So one is this is a Scientology thing where they slap people for misbehaving, and this is like a Tom Cruise jumping on the couch moment. Another one is obviously Will Smith has been getting cucked openly for years and is proud of it. And he's just frustrated with Jada and his life and his family, and it just got to a point where Chris Rock said something, he laughed, he looked over at Jada, she gave him that, I'm gonna cuck you again look, and then he had to go up and take care of business. Everybody's reacted to this. There's no new perspective to have on this. Comedians have reacted, the people that were there have reacted, Jim Carrey has said stuff. Everyone's talked about it, so it's not like you can add a new element to this. So I'm going to take a perspective of why I think this is so fascinating to everybody and what this means, like why this is such an odd thing, besides just the weirdness of the fact that it was Will Smith, the most loved guy in the world, hitting one of the most famous comedians of all time. Uh, so think about it this way, right? I was watching this live, and a lot of people weren't. I think the ratings came in like 15 million people were watching the Oscars, which was the second lowest rated Oscars ever after last year, which I consider to be the worst Academy Awards of all time. This was in the running for the worst Academy Awards, and then Will Smith in like the final hour brought the energy up. Because just waiting for him to give the speech after the slap was amazing, you know. But watching it live, right? Something magical happened that hasn't happened in forever. Because in the era of social media and cell phones and everything, typically when something happens, your phone blows up and you just start scrolling and looking at everything that's happened, and you're updated like every second on everything that's happening all the time. It's very rare that something happens and it's not immediately a story. That's very uncommon these days. It was super common in like the 90s when I was a kid. Controversies would happen all the time, and they would kind of be spread through word of mouth. You would be somewhere and you would hear people talking about something. But nowadays, that doesn't happen much. Because the Oscars is so boring and nobody gives a shit about it anymore, because it's been so irrelevant for, I don't know, the last 10 years probably. It's just declined in relevancy. Um, Nobody was watching it. It wasn't like the Super Bowl or something. It wasn't like half of America was, tuned into the Oscars. Most people are probably just going to watch YouTube clips the next day. So when this happened live and he slapped him, I was watching it and I thought, what just happened? This is weird. And like a lot of people, I thought it was a joke. And then I was going on Twitter, and other people were writing stuff. And it took a while for everybody to realize what was going on, because if you were watching it, at least in America, I don't think in some countries like Australia, they cut out Will Smith yelling, uh, you know, the part about keep my wife's name out of your mouth. So I've been trying to avoid saying Jada.
My wife's name out your fucking mouth!
And the thing is it took a while for everyone to realize what was going on, right? Um, so that was a weird experience. to just be in the moment of it. And I was texting friends of mine, and I was the first person to tell them. I was popping their cherry. I was like, yo, Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock. And they're like, fuck you. What's actually going on? I'm like, no, he just hit Chris Rock at the Oscars. And then everybody started watching it. So it was like a thing where everybody kind of gradually figured out what was going on. And then people started to tune in. And then Will Smith gave the weirdest, longest, most bizarre speech. Like, I didn't think you could top Joaquin Phoenix winning for Joker and the whole thing about cows, milk, and all that stupid crap. But Will Smith topped it, talking about like how he was in character and he was like Richard from the movie and he was protecting his family and he apologized to everybody but Chris Rock. So if I play Harvey Weinstein in a movie, do I get permission to go grab like Scarlett Johansson's ass and be like, hey, I was in character. I'm an actor. We get lost in this sometimes. So that's my take on it, is that it was an interesting event because it just wasn't modern, because it wasn't streaming and it wasn't that popular of an event that it happened. It was like it caught a bunch of people off guard. It was a total surprise. So that part makes it interesting, and I think why so many people are talking about it was because we haven't had something like this in forever. It also like takes us away from Ukraine and COVID and all this other crap we've been hearing about for a long time. It's the first time in a long time we're talking about like a purely pop culture event and not something that's just scary. Like, oh, I guess the world's going to end, or authoritarians are trying to take over the world and, dismantle us and take away our homes and property. All that stuff. Instead, it was uh, Will Smith hitting someone over a very tame joke about G.I. Jane towards Jada Pinkett Smith.
My wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I don't know why everyone stood and clapped. I can't wrap my head around that. What was with the standing ovation? I don't know why some people didn't boo. I don't know why he didn't get kicked out. I know there's different stories going around, and Will's now resigned from the Academy. This was the most elitist thing I've seen. And it was so crazy it happened at the Academy Awards. I mean, it was a very rich, successful guy hitting someone publicly, where if most of us did that, we would go to jail, and getting away with it because he's famous and rich. And the elite, you could tell they didn't know how to react to it. Do we do something? Chris Rock doesn't want to press charges. Nobody knew how to react to it because they've lived in a bubble for so long. When this like violence happens or this real life situation happened in front of them, nobody knew what to do. I mean, the only thing that would have been more shocking is if Alec Baldwin would have shot somebody. And, that hasn't happened. Oh, so anyway, like I would feel bad for Will, because dudes are slamming his wife, and I don't think he's happy about it, clearly. But at the same time, man, you can't just hit somebody because they said something that makes you uncomfortable. And I don't even know if it made Will uncomfortable. That's the disturbing psychological thing here. Was Will Smith actually upset? Or did he just do that to make Jada... Like, I feel like Jada had to ruin his night, the most successful night of his career, the biggest night of his career, winning Best Actor, the thing that a lot of us thought would never happen for him. She had to ruin it. She couldn't let him have his moment. This is a broken man controlled by an evil, manipulative woman, and we don't talk about this enough in society. We'll talk about abusive men, we'll talk about women's trauma, we'll talk about all that. We don't talk about men who get manipulated and traumatized and hurt by evil women. This is that movie Ex Machina. She's even bald in that movie, for fuck's sakes. But this is what it is. Everyone should talk negatively about Jada Pinkett. She's publicly humiliated Will several times, and this was like her final humiliation. I can't even say it. Humiliation in public. This was like her like masterstroke. She's like, fuck, he's gonna win an Oscar. I gotta ruin this. Aladdin made $1 billion. I have to stop this now. It was hard to watch, man. It was hard to watch as a dude. It didn't have a race thing for me. I didn't think of it as really a black issue. Some people have tried to make it about that. I don't know what that has to do with anything except that both parties were black. It was hard to watch a cuck get his night ruined by a woman who just couldn't let him sit up front and laugh and have a good night. She had to ruin it for him. That's what I really think happened. That's my true answer. I think Jada Pinkett Smith knew that she had to ruin the night for Will. She didn't have any opportunities. She finally got one, like, hey, slap Chris Rock. And that was it. It's weird, it's funny, it's unique, and at the same time, it's also really sad and depressing, and not a good reflection of the times that we live in right now with all this hostility towards everybody. So, I don't know. I guess I'll fuck Jada Pinkett Smith. Fuck the Academy. Everyone who clapped for him, even giving him the Oscar and not asking him to leave. Bradley Cooper, Denzel, Tyler Perry coming in as like the three wise men to tell him that it's okay. Like, nah, dude. You see a guy hit another guy, the thing you should do is maybe go tell the guy get the hell out of here. You don't go say like it's when we're at our highest that the devil comes up. Like what is this August Wilson shit you're doing? Like are you still playing Macbeth? Denzel being Black Beth up there? Like come on. Like even that's pretentious. Like everyone's like, "Oh, it's amazing what Denzel said." It's like I mean, I'm not hating on Denzel, but still. Like what none of this makes any sense. This is once again, this is just sad, and it's a sad reflection of where the elite are, where Hollywood is. I haven't made videos in months, right? And everyone keeps asking me, where are you? Why are you making videos? Because I don't like any fucking movies anymore, and I don't like these people. I like Spider-Man No Way Home, okay, that was good. And it was nominated for one Oscar and didn't win anything. Dune won everything. And then a bunch of other movies that I didn't really like that much. Like, to be honest with you, like, Coda's okay, you know? I heard it was good, but then I saw it. But, you know, I don't give a shit about these people anymore. I hate them. And then I'm like, all right, I'll watch the Oscars, whatever. Maybe this will be a good year. They'll bounce back from last year. No. Oh, the cat wants out. All right, I guess that's the end. Yeah. This is what cucking can do to a man. Avoid being a cuck. Avoid being hurt by a woman. I don't know. Will Smith bounces back from this. Anyone who's defending Will Smith or trying to find nuance or elegance or talk about it, I've seen a lot of people take a side like he was defending his wife, and that was sexy, or like, oh, shut up, cat. That was sexy, or all that stuff. It wasn't. It was pussy. It was bullshit. Kiki, why'd you come in the room if you're gonna whine? Don't look at me that way. Yeah, anyway, it was bullshit. You can't defend it. It was stupid. That's all I have to say. Sorry. But yeah, it was unique because it happened like in real time and it wasn't like some internet thing. It was very interesting in that way. Uh Hopefully I see you guys again soon.